Let's begin in child's pose. Knees nice and wide, sit back onto your heels, arms reaching far out in front of you. Rest your forehead onto the mat. And begin to find your breath. Inhales through the nose and exhales through the mouth. Really think about expanding the side ribs as you inhale and pulling the belly button in and up towards the spine as you exhale through the mouth. Walk your fingertips over to the left side of the mat, thinking about keeping the right armpit down towards the floor, finding a really good stretch along the right side of the body, breathing into the side ribs. Walk your fingertips through the center and make your way over to the right side this time, breathing into the left side ribs, left armpit coming down towards the floor. Keep the gaze down. Come back to center. Tuck the toes and begin to lift the hips up towards the sky, coming into a downward facing dog. Knees can stay bent here. And just step the feet out, alternating bending each knee, releasing the backs of the legs, finding a stretch in the spine. Taking it easy before we begin. Come to stillness. And on your inhale, roll the body forward, ripple through the spine, coming into a strong plank position. And on your exhale, bend the knees, begin to lift the hips all the way up and back, rippling the spine back to downward facing dog. Keep going with this, really expressing through the spine, taking the gaze slightly forward and rolling the spine backwards, releasing the gaze back down towards the feet. Warming up the spine here, beginning to engage the core, which we'll definitely be doing a lot more of. And the next time you make your way back to downward dog, release your knees down to the floor, keep the toes tucked, and walk your hands back, coming into a kneeling position, sitting the glutes down onto the heels, feeling a stretch all along the soles of the feet, and also a quick wrist release here. Put the backs of the hands along the side ribs, elbows are out. Gently pull the elbows back. Hands back down to the floor and come into a tabletop. Wrists in line with the shoulders, knees in line with the hips. Engage the core and take the gaze slightly ahead of the hands. Extend the left leg back, point the toes, and lift the left leg up to hip height. Inhale here. Exhale, curl the spine up, tuck the head to knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, curl the spine upwards, engaging the core, head to knee. Inhale, extend, really point the toes. Exhale, head to knee. Inhale out. Exhale in. Inhale out. Exhale in. Now hold here for a moment. Tuck the right toes and hover the right knee, keeping everything still as you inhale the left leg back out. Exhale, head to knee. Inhale out. Exhale, head to knee. Push through the shoulders here. Keep the belly button lifting up towards the spine. Couple more here. Inhale, head to knee. Exhale, extend. One more. Inhale. Exhale, push your way up to a three-legged dog. Left leg floats behind you. Pulse the left leg up 10 times. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale here, reach through the toes. Exhale, bring the left knee back to the forehead. Inhale up to three-legged dog. Exhale, bring the knee to the forehead and then over to the right elbow. Inhale up to three-legged dog. Inhale, bring the knee to the forehead, cross it over to the right elbow, cross it over to the left elbow. Inhale, back up to three-legged dog. Exhale, curl the leg in, this time stepping the left foot down between the hands. Lower the right leg down to the floor, untuck the toes, and inhale, bring yourself up to a low lunge. Grow tall through the spine. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, begin to pull the shoulder blades down and back, drawing the elbows down towards the waist. Inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, bring the arms down, finding a little back bend. Inhale up, keep going. Opening up through the chest, giving your core a little bit of a stretch after that warm-up. The next time you bring your hands up to the sky, tuck the back toes, lift the right knee off the floor, and begin to tip your body over into one straight line, bringing the hands back to a runner's lunge. One straight line from the top of the head down to the right toes. Left knee is on top of the left ankle, really grounding through the left foot, holding yourself strong. Bring your hands to prayer in front of your chest. Inhale here, exhale, curtsy lunge the right foot behind the left leg, far out to the left side of the mat. Inhale, back to runner's lunge. Exhale, curtsy down. 6 more times. Inhale and exhale as you curtsy. You may be starting to feel a bit of a burn coming into the left glute. Keep pulling up through the core, keeping the spine long, gaze down to the floor to keep your balance. Last one. Come back to your runner's lunge, hands down to the floor, and step your left foot back into a downward facing dog. Walk out the heels, release that glute, and then roll yourself forward, coming back into a tabletop position. Engaging the core, pulling the belly button up towards the spine, gaze is slightly ahead of the hands. Extend the right foot back, pointing the toes, and lift the leg up to hip height. Inhale here. Exhale, curl up, bringing the knee to the forehead. Inhale, extend. Exhale as you curl the knee into the forehead. Inhale, extend. Exhale. Keep going, keep lifting the belly button up towards the spine, drawing the bottom ribs down towards the hips. Hold the curl here, tuck the left toes this time, hover the left knee, and keep going. Inhale, extend. Exhale, head to knee. So keeping everything still in the same position, the only difference is the left knee is now hovering, engaging the core just a little bit more. Last curl here. And now extend the right leg up and back to three-legged dog, really pointing through the toes, finding length, engaging the strength of the glutes. 10 pulses through the right leg for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold here, take an inhale. Exhale, bring the head to the knee. Inhale, come back to three-legged dog. Exhale, head to knee, and then over to the left elbow this time. Inhale, extend three-legged dog. Exhale, head to knee, left elbow, right elbow. Inhale, three-legged dog. This time, exhale, head to knee, and step the right foot down between the hands. Left knee comes to the floor, untuck the back toes, and come up to a low lunge, reaching the arms and the fingertips up towards the sky. Inhale here as you reach even taller. Exhale, draw the elbows down, bring the shoulder blades together, shoulders away from the ears. Inhale up. Exhale as you open the chest, bend back slightly. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, lengthen and bend back. Inhale, come up. Exhale, down. One more time. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, really open, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Inhale, back through center. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, and tip forward into that runner's lunge. Really stabilizing through the legs. Hips are square. Hands back to prayer in front of the chest. Inhale here. Exhale, curtsy the left foot back this time behind the right. Inhale, come to runner's lunge. Exhale, curtsy. Inhale, lunge. Keep going. Remember to keep the spine long. You're slightly hinged forward to really utilize the strength of that right glute, starting to feel a bit of a burn coming in. Last curtsy lunge here. Back to runner's lunge. Hands come back to the floor. Step the right foot back to a downward dog. Step your feet out for a moment, releasing the work in the glutes and the legs. And then begin to walk your hands back towards your feet. Keep a micro bend in the knees and hold opposite elbows with your hands. Drop your head, and you can bring a little bit of a sway here. Left to right, breathing naturally. Finding some stillness before releasing your hands down to the floor and rolling your spine up. Head is the last thing to come up. Face the side of the mat and find a wide second plie position. So the knees are stacking on top of the ankles and the toes are slightly turned out. Really encourage the knees to push back a little bit so that they are tracking in line with the toes. Arms extended in line with the shoulders. On your inhale, begin to straighten the legs, cross the left arm over the right. Exhale, plie, extend the arms out. Inhale, right over left this time. Exhale, plie down. Keep going with this. Squeeze the inner arms together as you cross them over one another. Keep the spine long, stand up nice and tall as you stretch through the legs. Last one. Now hold down in your plie, flip the palms up towards the sky, reach the arms up towards the sky overhead, and lift the right heel, staying low in your plie. This time as you inhale, bring the elbows down towards the waist. Exhale, arms overhead. Inhale, squeeze the arms down. Exhale, lift them back up. So really think about drawing the elbows down and slightly behind you. Getting into the arms here, getting into the shoulders. Now stay low in your plie, arms stay up. Let's pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Stretch both legs, right heel comes down to the floor, release the arms, heel toe the feet so that they're a little bit wider than hip distance apart. Inhale, reach the arms up towards the sky, and exhale, forward fold in one straight line, coming down, bring your hands to the floor. Again, keep a micro bend in the knees if you need to. Just walking the hands from left to right, getting into all of the hamstrings, all parts of the backs of the legs, the hips. Come back through center and roll your body all the way up slowly. Keep the knees bent. Head is the last thing to come up. Come back to that wide second plie position. Arms extended out in line with the shoulders, this time having the palms facing up towards the sky. This time as you straighten the legs, pull the elbows in towards the waistline and then extend the arms back out. So inhale, squeeze the elbows in, exhale, plie, extend. Keep going. Keep breathing with the movement here. Really pull those elbows in. You'll feel the muscles of the arms begin to engage. Feeling some heat in the shoulders, as well as the legs. Hold in your plie, lift the left heel this time, and reach your arms up overhead. Now as you inhale and stretch the legs, pull the elbows backwards. So the palms are facing towards each other, and you're kind of doing these robot arms as you really pull the elbows back behind your body. Inhale, plie, extend the arms. Exhale, pull the elbows back as you straighten the legs. Hold on this next plie, 10 pulses. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straighten both legs, release everything down, and come to the front of the mat, standing with your feet hip distance apart. Pelvis is slightly tucked under, core is engaged up and in. Come up high onto your tippy toes and hold your arms straight out in front of you. Begin to bend through your knees and try to keep your spine as straight as possible, keeping everything still as you elevate your body down. Stay high on your toes. You can experiment with your balance by moving your arms around any which way. And then eventually sitting the glutes all the way down to the mat and extending the legs out in front of you. Keep the knees bent, feet on the floor. Sit up tall and reach the arms out in front of you. Inhale here, and on your exhale, begin to curve your spine back as you lean back. Inhale, pull yourself up to a straight spine, lift the arms overhead. Exhale, curl back. Inhale, come to sit. So every time you curl back, think about drawing your bottom ribs down towards your hip bones. Keep the gaze forward. And feeling one long line of energy from the tailbone all the way up through the top of the head and the fingertips. The next time you curl back, pause here and then lift the feet off the ground, finding boat. So the chest is lifted, the shoulders are relaxed, but of course this is a very strong core position, so we're really using the strength of our core to hold ourselves up. It's quite a bit of work. You can straighten the legs if that feels good for you, or keep them bent. You can even rest the toes on the floor if this is a bit too much. Wherever you are, clasp the hands out in front of you, release the index fingers, point them forward. Inhale here, exhale, twist to the left. Quick inhale through center, exhale to the right. So keep twisting, inhaling every time you come through center and exhaling as you twist. Ten more. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Release the hands, reach the arms forward. Last little challenge. Let's see if we can go through low boat. Extend the legs straight, point the toes, keep the chin tucked. Breathe. Lower backs press down to the floor. And release down. Bend the knees up, step the feet to the floor. Bring the hands behind the head, interlace the fingers, elbows wide. Imprint the lower back into the mat. Take an inhale here, and on your exhale, curl up, tucking the chin towards the chest. Inhale, come back down. Exhale, curl up. Inhale, down, keep going. Using the strength of the core to lift you rather than momentum and yanking your head. Keep the rest of your body calm as the core lifts your upper body, your chest, your head up off the ground. Two more. Exhale up, inhale down. Exhale up, inhale down. Now extend the arms straight overhead. Straighten the right leg out in front of you, pointing the toes. Inhale here, and as you exhale, curl up, sweeping the arms down beside the hip, knee to the forehead. Inhale, extend. Exhale, curl up, drawing everything in. Inhale, extend. Exhale, up. Really strong through the core and fluid and expressive through the arms and the extension of the leg all the way out through the toes. Last one, curl up, hold for a moment, Stretch the right leg up towards the sky. Hold the ankle, the calf, or the thigh. Begin to straighten the left leg out, pointing the toes. And we'll take scissor switches here. So keep the chin tucked towards the chest and switch to the left and right. A quick exhale every time you bring the leg towards the body. Exhale, exhale. Left, right, left, right, and down. Relax your head to the floor. Turn your head from left to right. Give your knees a little squeeze into your chest. And then bring your feet back to the floor as we make our way into the other side. So extend the left leg out, pointing the toes, arms overhead. Inhale here. Exhale, curl up, head to knee as the arms sweep down towards the hips. Keep going. Inhale, extend. Exhale, curl. Inhale, extend. Exhale, curl. Two more times. Keep going. Exhale up. Inhale down. Exhale up. Hold. Now straighten the left leg. Grab the ankle, the calf, or behind the thigh. Straighten the right leg. Point the toes. Scissor switch right and left. You can let go of the legs and float your arms out beside the hips. Palms up towards the sky. Chin towards the chest. Last one. Hug the knees to the chest. Relax the head back down to the floor. Roll onto your right side now, keeping the right arm extended above head, resting your cheek onto your upper arm. Point the toes, make sure your body is in one long line. Left hand can prop in front of your chest to give you some support. Engaging the core in and up. Exhale, lift both feet off the floor. Inhale, bring them back down with control. Exhale, lift the feet. Inhale, bring them back down. Exhale, lift. Inhale down, keep going. Two more. Exhale, hold the feet lifted. Keep the left foot where it is. Inhale, lower the right foot to the floor. Exhale, bring it back up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. So keeping the left foot exactly where it is, lowering the right foot down to the floor, bringing it back up to meet the left. Squeezing the inner thighs together, keeping the core in and up towards the spine. Release down to the floor. Prop yourself up onto your elbow, so your right elbow is underneath your right shoulder. Stretch your legs out, point the toes in line with the hips, and reach the left arm overhead, gaze towards the mat. On your exhale, start to lean back onto your sits bone as you sweep the legs up, meet the feet to the hand, and inhale, come back to start. Exhale, lift the feet to the hand, exhale to the start. Make sure here that you're not sinking through the shoulder, you're staying lifted through the sides of the waist, using the strength of the core and the obliques to lift the legs up instead of throwing them. This is a really strong exercise, and we're looking to execute it with a lot of grace and ease. Last one, and come back down. Come up to sit, keeping your legs tucked towards your left glute. Reach your right arm up and over, stretching out the right side of the waist. And come out of that stretch. Make your way down to your left side of the body this time. We'll do everything now on the other side. So stretch the left arm out, resting the cheek on the upper arm. Right fingertips can support you in front of the chest. Toes are pointed in line with the hips. Exhale, lift the feet up off the floor. Inhale, bring them down with control. Exhale, lift. Inhale, down. So really keep the core in and up towards the spine, engaged. Think about keeping length through the side body. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Hold the feet lifted now. Inhale, lower the left foot to the floor. Exhale, meet it up to the right. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. So keeping the right foot where it is this time, and now squeezing the inner thighs together as you lift the left leg up to meet the right. Last time. And relax back down to the floor. Come up onto your elbow, left elbow under the left shoulder this time. Toes are pointed, reach the right arm up and over the head. Inhale here, and as you exhale, begin to lean back onto your glutes, lifting your legs up, meeting your feet to your hands. And inhale, come back to start. Remember not to sink into your left shoulder. Really hold yourself tall. Spine is lengthened. Sides of the waist are lengthened. And not using too much momentum to bring the feet up. Rather, relying on the strength of the core and the obliques. Squeezing the legs together. Enjoying this graceful movement as much as you can. Last one. Beautiful. Make your way up to sit for that mermaid stretch, keeping the legs tucked in towards the right glute. Lift the left arm up and over, stretching into the left side of the body this time. And make your way out of that. Swing your legs out in front of you, keep them bent, and slowly roll down vertebrae by vertebrae down to the mat onto your back. Keep your arms down by your side, knees bent, step your feet in quite close to your glutes. Keep your feet together, the insides of the feet together, the insides of the legs together. Come up onto your tiptoes, and on your inhale, squeeze the glutes as you lift your hips up. And exhale, roll them back down. So keep the heels high. Inhale, lift the hips. Exhale, come back down. Keep going. Keep your gaze up towards the sky. Keep the back of the neck long on the floor. And really squeeze the glutes as you reach the top of that motion. Couple more here. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, squeeze. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, hold. Exhale, open the knees. Inhale, squeeze the legs together. Exhale, lower. Keep going. Inhale, lift. Exhale, open the knees. Inhale, squeeze them together. Exhale, lower. Two more sets. Inhale, lift. Exhale, open. Inhale, close. Exhale, lower. Last one. I know the glutes are burning. Keep going. Keep breathing. Hold the hips lifted and just open the knees. Squeeze the legs together. Open and close. Keep going. I know this is intense. Just keep breathing. Stay high on the toes. Now hold the legs together and pulse the hips up for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Really nice work. Lower the hips down. Walk the feet out. Hug your knees into your chest for a moment. Give them a squeeze. Release the glutes. And then roll yourself up to a seated position. Once you are up there, take your hands behind you, fingers facing forward. Hands are underneath the shoulders. Press up through the hands and the feet, squeeze the glutes, and come into a reverse tabletop. Shoulders away from the ears, keep the gaze forward. Inhale here. And as you exhale, begin to straighten the legs as you pull your hips through your arms. Inhale, lift back up to tabletop. Exhale, pull the hips through the arms. Inhale, lift. One more time, pull the hips back, come back to reverse tabletop. Now inhale, lift the right leg, keeping the leg bent at a 90-degree angle. Exhale, extend the leg forward. Inhale, draw it back to start. Exhale, down. Inhale, lift the left leg. Exhale, extend. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. So keep going with this. Make sure that you're pressing through the hands, shoulders away from the ears, but they are active. Glutes are engaged, keeping the hips lifted. The only thing moving is the leg that is bending and extending. One more on each side. Come back through center, roll the hips back down to the floor, release your arms forward, and slowly roll down to your back on your mat. Coming into part 2 of our bridge exercise. So walk your feet in close towards your glutes, but keep them hip distance apart. Arms down towards your side. On your inhale, squeeze the glutes as you roll the hips up. And exhale, bring them back down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Remember to keep the gaze up towards the sky. Back of the neck long on the floor. Squeezing the glutes every time you come to the top of that movement. Now keep the hips lifted on this next one. Step the right foot out, the left foot out, the right foot in, the left foot in. So out, out, in, in. Inhale, inhale, exhale, exhale. Try to keep the hips lifted and as still as possible, just moving the feet here. You can bring your hands to your hips if you want to challenge yourself, and also just take note of how much your hips are moving. Engage the core, squeeze the glutes to keep everything as stable as possible. Now hold in a bridge position, reach your arms up to the sky, take an inhale, exhale, fly them out to the side, inhale, bring them back towards the sky. So exhale, open your arms, inhale, lift. Exhale, open, inhale, lift. Keep the hips lifted nice and high. Hold the arms up towards the sky and pulse through the hips up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Really, really good. Roll the hips back down. Take a moment here to squeeze the knees in towards the chest, release the glute muscles, stretch them out, and then roll yourself back up to a seated position. Once you're up there, once again, bring your hands behind you, fingers face forward, wrists underneath the shoulders. Press through the hands and the feet, coming up into a reverse tabletop. This time, inhale, and as you exhale, draw your hips back between your hands, point your toes, see if you can lift one foot, and inhale, come back up through center. Exhale, bring the hips back, point the toes, try to lift the other foot. This is really hard, so if you can't lift the feet, do not worry. This takes a lot of time. I was really struggling to do it at this point. Keep going, keep breathing, push through the hands. Hold in your reverse tabletop. Working the arms here. Inhale as you bend, the elbows come down. Exhale, push back up to straight. Down and up. Keep going. Really push through the hands. Keep the hips as high as you can. Keep the core engaged. Press through the feet. 2 more. And lower the hips back down to the floor. All right, we'll come back down to our right side. This time, bend your elbow and prop your head up with your right hand. Left hand can stay in front of your chest again. Have your knees bent at a 45-degree angle and keep the toes pointed. Bring the belly button back towards the spine, keeping the sides of the waist long as well. On your inhale, lift the knee open into a clam position. Exhale, squeeze the knee back down. Inhale, open as much as you can. Exhale, down. Keep the hips stacked on top of each other. Try not to open them up. Really just getting into the outside of the leg, the outside of the glute. Two more. Open and close. Open and close. Now this time, inhale, lift both feet off the ground as you open the left knee. Exhale, squeeze the heels together. Inhale, bring the toes back together. And exhale, lower everything back down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, squeeze the heels together. Inhale, point the toes together. Exhale, come back down. So really try to lift the feet up off the floor as much as possible, keeping the right knee grounded. And again, keeping the hips stacked on top of each other, not opening up through the left hip. Now the next time you lift the legs open, bring the heels together, hold, squeeze them together, and then pulse the left knee back for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower everything back down. Keep your knees together, point the toes. Now internally rotate the left leg, lifting the left foot up, but keeping the knees together. Now inhale, extend the leg up and back, really pointing through the toes. Exhale, keep the leg there, flex the foot. Inhale, point the toes, and exhale, bring the knees back together. So inhale, extend. Exhale, flex. Inhale, point. Exhale, knees together. Keep going. Try to lift the leg up a little bit higher, but keeping it in line with the hip, using that hand in front of you to support you and to keep length in the sides of the waist. On this last one, extend the leg out, point the toes, and then lower the leg slightly so it's parallel to the floor. Start to draw the leg back behind you. Bring the heel in close towards the glute, keeping the toes pointed. And now lead with the knee as you pull the knee forward, stretch the leg in front of you, and draw 3 circles with your toes. Again, swing the leg back all at one height. Draw the heel in towards the glute, keeping the toes pointed. Knee comes forward, stretch the leg, and draw 3 circles. So the most important thing here is that we're not rocking through our upper body or our hips, using the strength of the core and the legs to keep ourselves stable, as well as that hand in front of us for a little extra support. Finish up your last set and bring the leg back in line with the hip, and we'll reverse this whole thing. So now pull the leg forward, keeping the toes pointed and the leg straight. Bend the knee, lead with the toes as you extend the leg back behind you and draw 3 circles. Again, draw the leg forward, bend the knee, lead with the toes as you extend the leg back behind you and draw 3 circles, really trying to keep the hips stacked on top of each other here and the upper body as still as possible. Finish up your last circles here and relax the leg back down. Come up to sit. We'll come back into a mermaid stretch, so feet are tucked in towards the left glute. Reach the right arm up and over. This should feel so nice after all of that side lying work. Come out of that, swing the legs out in front of you and make your way down to your left side this time. So bend the left elbow, prop your head up with your left hand. Keep the legs bent at a 45-degree angle away from the body, toes are pointed. Inhale, open that top knee, and exhale, squeeze back down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Remember to draw the belly button in and up towards the spine, keeping the sides of the waist long and keeping the hips stacked on top of each other. Last one. And now lift both feet off the floor as you open up the left leg on your inhale. Exhale, squeeze the heels together. Inhale, toes together. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift and open. Exhale, squeeze the heels. Inhale, toes together. Exhale, lower. Last one, lift and open, squeeze the heels together and pulse the right knee back for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring everything back down. And now internally rotate the right leg so the knees are coming together, the right foot is up. Inhale, extend the right leg up and back in line with the hip, pointing through the toes. Exhale, flex. Inhale, point. Exhale, knees together. So this one, we are trying to lift the leg up as high as possible, but keeping it in line with the body. So it's not going out behind the body and it's not hanging out in front of the body. It's just in line with the torso. And the next time you extend the leg out, lower it down so it's parallel to the floor. And we'll go back to that bicycle motion. So start to draw the leg back behind you, heel comes to the glute, lead with the knee as you straighten the leg forward, and draw 3 circles with the toes. Keep going with this, draw the leg back all at one height, lead with the knee as you straighten the leg forward, point the toes, and draw 3 circles. Again, try not to open through the hips. Try to keep them as square as possible. The upper body is as still as possible. Use the support of the hand in front of you. Bring the leg back to center, and let's reverse this whole thing. Draw the leg forward, lead with the toes as you extend the leg back, and draw 3 circles the opposite direction. Finish up your last round of circles here. And then relax everything down. Bring yourself back up into a mermaid stretch. Keeping the feet tucked in towards the right glute. Reaching the left arm up and over. Getting a good stretch along the left side of the body. Come out of that and make your way onto a tabletop. So wrists are underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath the hips. Really lift the belly button up in towards the spine and keep the toes tucked. We're going to hover the knees off the ground, finding a really stable hovering tabletop. So really push through the hands, up through the shoulders, broaden the shoulder blades across the upper back. Breathe here. Keep the core engaged. Gaze down towards the mat. And now step the feet back, coming into a full plank. So make sure that your hips are in line with the rest of your body. You're pushing up through your shoulders, high up on your toes. We've done a lot of core work, so you have a lot of strength here, but you may also be tired. So put your knees down if you feel you need to. Walk the feet out so they're a little bit wider than hip widths apart. Inhale, roll to the outside of the left foot, extending the right fingertips up towards the sky. Exhale, lower the hips down, arm comes down. Inhale, push the hips back up, arm sweeps overhead. And exhale, come to center. Inhale, roll to the outside of the right foot, left fingertips come up. Exhale, dip the hips down, left arm comes down. Inhale, push the hips up, left arm overhead. And exhale, come through center. Keep flowing through this. Inhale, open. Exhale, lower. Inhale, push up through your hand and your shoulder, arm sweeps over. Exhale through center. Inhale, side plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. And exhale, come through center. This time, roll to your left side and hold in a side plank. You can keep the right foot in front of the left or stack the feet on top of each other. Gaze can come up to the right fingertips. Keep the underside of the left side of your body lifted. Hips are lifted high. And come back through center. And make your way over to the right side for a strong side plank. Again, you can stack the feet or keep the left foot in front of the right. Left fingertips up towards the sky. Hips are lifted nice and high. Push through the hand, through the shoulder. And come back through center. Knees come down to the floor, untuck the toes. Come back into a brief child's pose, flipping the palms up to the sky, relaxing the wrists and the arms and the shoulders. Begin to roll yourself up from that. Give your wrists a few circles in either direction. And then make your way back to a tabletop, keeping the toes tucked, and this time walking the feet and knees back slightly so that your body is on an angle. We're going to move into a nice and easy push-up series. So on your inhale, lower yourself down, keeping the elbows squeezed in towards the body. Exhale, push yourself up. Inhale, push off your hands, coming back into a frog squat. And exhale, come back to start. So inhale, lower. Exhale, push up. Inhale, push off the hands, come back to a frog squat. Exhale, back to start. Keep going. Inhale, down. Exhale, push up. Inhale, back. Exhale, knees down. Let's do 2 more of this combination. Last push-up. Now from this frog squat, just push yourself forward into a strong plank and come back to that frog position. So inhale forward, exhale, come back. Inhale, launch yourself forward, exhale back. Every time you come forward, your shoulders are coming over your wrists. You're lowering your hips down, broadening your shoulder blades. Last one. Hold your strong plank for a moment here. And then release the knees down to the floor, untuck the toes, and lower yourself all the way down to your belly. Take the legs as wide as the mat, keeping the toes pointed. Stack the hands, keep the elbows wide, and relax your forehead on top of the hands. On your inhale, lift the upper body up, keeping the elbows wide and the hands pressed to the forehead. Exhale, lower back down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Keep moving through this with your breath. Gaze stays down towards the floor. Now come up through center. Open the left elbow, spiral to the left. Come back through center, release back down. Come up, spiral to the right. Come through center, back down. One more time. Lift up, spiral to the left, center, and down. Up, to the right, center, and down. Give your hips a little bit of a wiggle. And now reach the arms out in line with the shoulders, palms down facing towards the floor. Keeping the head and the chest lifted slightly. On your next inhale, lift your left arm and your right leg together. Exhale, lower them back down. Inhale, left arm and right leg lift. Exhale, back down. Inhale, lift both arms, both legs. Exhale, squeeze the feet and the hands together. Inhale, open them back up. And exhale, lower. Keep going. Right arm, left leg. Left arm, right leg. Both arms, both legs. Bring the feet together. Swing the hands out in front of you together. Bring them all apart and lower back down. 2 more times. Now let's lift everything up, including the gaze, looking slightly forward. Swing the arms back, hands facing towards each other. Squeeze, lift, maybe lift the legs a little bit higher. Lift the chest and lower back down. Now push through your hands, roll back into a child's pose. Keep the knees together for this one. You'll get a really good stretch along the spine, which is very much needed after this last hour. We are moving into our cool down stretch now, so begin to normalize the breath, bring your heart rate down, relax the muscles. Tuck your toes and make your way up to a downward facing dog. You can stay still or feel free to pedal out the feet. You can move the hips from side to side. Any kind of wiggle or stretch that your body's asking for. We've worked pretty hard for a pretty long time in all of our muscle groups. Enjoy this time to come back down to stillness, to steadiness. Now step the left foot between the hands, lowering the right knee, untucking the toes, coming into a low lunge, moving with a lot of awareness. Walking the hands slowly up to the top of the thigh, and feeling a really good stretch along the whole front of the body, especially on that right side hip flexor. Keep the hips square. You can engage the right glute to deepen that sensation in the front of the hip. Even come to close the eyes. Now lift the arms up overhead. Clasp the right wrist with the left hand. Find a little more length in that right side before you start to bend over towards the left. We're looking to get right into that right psoas, which is kind of a difficult muscle to stretch sometimes, but this is a really great way to get in there. Bring your hands down to the floor. Start to walk yourself back into a halfway split. So the right hip is coming over top of the right knee and straightening through the left leg to any amount. You can even keep it slightly bent. Stay propped up on your fingertips or come a little bit lower down, as long as you're keeping length through your spine and reaching forward through the top of your head. Keep the breath relaxed. The foot can stay flexed, or you can do some ankle circles if you'd like to floss that sciatic nerve. Now bend back into the left knee, coming forward into a low lunge again. Start to walk that left foot wide of the left hand to the outside of the mat. You can stay here as you sink your hips low into a lizard lunge. Feel free to come down onto your elbows. And if you want to make this a little more intense, tuck the back toes and lift the right knee off the floor. The spine is long here, and keep the gaze between the hands. Keep breathing. Lower the right knee down to the floor. Untuck the right toes. Come back up onto your hands if you're on your elbows. And now heel toe the left foot all the way across to the right side of the mat, coming down into pigeon. So make sure that the back foot is completely in line with the hips. And the front leg doesn't have to be at a 90-degree angle. You can pull that foot closer to your hip if that's more comfortable. Square off the hips. Pull up through the spine before folding over into a sleeping pigeon. Inquire with yourself where you can breathe a little bit deeper and how you can make this less effortful. Really Slowly bring your hands down to the floor, bringing yourself up out of that. Tuck the back toes, release the front leg from that stretch and step back into a downward dog. Stepping out the heels, maybe shaking that left leg. Finding stillness once more before stepping the right foot between the hands this time, lowering the left knee to the floor, untucking the left toes, coming into a low lunge. Walk the hands up to the top of the right thigh, square off the hips as much as possible, and begin to push your hips slightly forward in space, finding a good stretch along the left hip flexor. Now reach your arms up above your head, clasping your left wrist with your right hand this time, stretching up as you inhale and then exhaling over to the right, stretching out that left psoas, the left hip flexor. Breathe here. Hands come back down to the floor. Begin to straighten the right leg as you stack the left hip on top of the left knee. Keep the spine straight, keep reaching forward. Keep bend in the knee if this is too intense for you. And once again, roll out the foot in circles if you want to floss out your sciatic nerve, or just keep the foot flexed. Start to bend back into the right knee, walking the right foot out wide to the outside of the mat. Staying long through the spine, energy through the top of the head. Stay up on your hands or come down to your elbows. Option to tuck the back toes and lift the back knee for a little bit more intensity. Lower the back knee if it's lifted, untuck the toes, come back up onto the hands, and then walk that right foot across the mat over to the left side, coming down into pigeon. So the back leg is extended long, toes are pointed in line with the hip, and the hips are as square as possible. You may want to bring that right foot closer in towards the left hip. Find length in the spine before folding over into a sleeping pigeon. This is a really good place now to close the eyes, check in with your body, take note of any areas that might be straining where you can ease off a little bit, areas where you can direct the breath to. Ask yourself, can I surrender a little bit more to this stretch? Slowly lift your way up and tuck the back toes, step back into a downward dog. Pedal out the feet, give that right leg a shake. And roll yourself very easily forward down onto your belly. Tee the arms out, point the toes. Bend the left knee, and using the right hand in front of the chest, push yourself up and over so the left foot finds the floor behind you, opening through that right shoulder and the right chest, the right pectoral muscle. If you're very comfortable here, you can extend the left fingers up to the sky, bringing the shoulder blades a little bit closer together. Left hand finds the floor if it's lifted, and roll yourself back onto your belly slowly. Tee the arms out once again, bend the right knee this time, using the right hand to push yourself over. Right foot finds the floor behind you. Use the right hand to open your chest a little bit more, finding a deeper stretch in the left shoulder. And if you're very comfortable, you can lift the right fingertips up towards the sky to bring the shoulder blades even closer together. And make your way back to your belly. Slowly, mindfully bring yourself up to your knees. Now you may want to come off your mat for this final stretch. That's what I'm going to do because my mat is very sticky. Coming into a frog pose. So let your knees slide away from each other. Keep your elbows in line with the knees, feet are flexed, and come down onto your forearms. There's really not much to do here. Keep your gaze towards the floor and let gravity do the work. Let the weight of your hips sink down, deepening the stretch on the insides of your thighs, as well as opening the hips, releasing the lower back. Simply breathe. You can experiment with tilting the pelvis, moving the hips back and forth. Bring your feet together, push off your hands, and walk your way up to a kneeling position, bringing the knees together. Sit back onto your heels. Simply rest your hands in your lap. Close your eyes. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Take a few deep breaths. Thank your body and your mind for showing up for you today. I hope that you feel really good after this last hour. I know that I did. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Take care.